Good morning and welcome to KidNuz, generously sponsored today by the Pyle family of Portola Valley, California, to honor Brandon Pyle and wish him a happy 9th birthday. Brandon, your family loves you and wishes you the best year yet. I'm Tori. It's Friday, December 9th, 2022, and we begin with TikTok facing a truckload of legal trouble over its influence on kids. According to the Wall Street Journal, Indiana filed 2 lawsuits on Wednesday. One alleges that the uber-popular app is designed to be addictive for young people, and the other claims TikTok, which is owned by a Chinese company, allows that country to spy on users to serve China's national interest. Both cases allege that the platform is violating Indiana's consumer protection laws by deceiving the public about its operations. And that's not all. Nebraska, South Dakota, South Carolina, and Maryland are all taking steps to limit the use of TikTok by state employees because of national security concerns. Nationally, though, there is nothing in place to stop the rest of us from uploading all their dances, pranks, life hacks, and silly videos that have made it so popular. Pets seem to want to fly as much as the rest of us. This week, a small dog was accidentally sent through an airport X-ray machine in Madison, Wisconsin. The little Dachshund Chihuahua mix had been zipped inside a backpack by a vacationer who didn't seem to be aware that there are separate screening requirements for approved animals. USA Today reports the pup was a little skittish when it came out of the machine, but was otherwise unharmed. There was a similar incident a couple weeks ago when a TSA X-ray revealed a cat was trapped in checked luggage at New York's JFK airport. In this case, the feline had snuck into the bag unnoticed while the traveler was packing it. This clever cat was also unharmed, safely returned home, and was later treated to a hearty meal for his troubles. The future is looking bright for the car industry. The world's first solar-powered car has begun production after 6 years of development. The Dutch company Lightyear has designed a 4 to 5 passenger vehicle with 5 curved solar panels on the exterior that will charge up the car wherever there's daylight, whether it's parked or moving. Lightyear claims the current model can get up to 40 miles of driving per day from the sun alone, and it can also be plugged in to get nearly 200 miles from an overnight charge. The facility is initially making 1 vehicle per week, with plans to ramp up production early next year. These solar-powered cars won't be cheap, though, costing over $250,000. It appears the nationwide protests against China's super strict zero-COVID policies have paid off. The government has just dropped many of its quarantine and testing rules so people can move about more freely. And according to the BBC, these protests were prompted in part by the World Cup. Many in China, including leader Xi Jinping, love soccer, so they have been eagerly following the big tournament. But seeing the stadiums there filled with fans crowded together, cheering loudly and without masks, confused and angered a lot of Chinese citizens who wondered why they were forced to live under such tight rules when clearly others are not. One comment on social media asked, "Are we on the same planet?" This could be music to the ears of many budding musicians. The Acoustical Society of America has just announced it will be making violins using a 3D printer, so the classical instrument will be affordable for pretty much any child or adult who wants to learn how to play. A special plastic substance is used in the printing process that can reproduce the sound and tone of a traditionally built violin, which can cost thousands of dollars. The 2-piece plastic version has a printing cost of $7 and an assemble cost of under $30 and will be available soon to the general public. And this isn't the first instrument to be 3D printed by the Society's Young Artist program. Guitars and saxophones have also been printed. Anyone interested in learning more can contact the organization. We've put a link on our website. That's it for KidNuz. Now our KidNuz quiz. Which state is suing TikTok? Indiana. What's the name of the company that's making a solar-powered car? Light year. Which country is now easing up its COVID policies? China. What kind of instrument can now be made with a 3D printer? A violin. In our KidNuz Kicker, it was on this date way back in 1965 that A Charlie Brown Christmas first aired on television. The animated musical was the first special ever based on Charles Schulz's comic strip, Peanuts. And according to an article in New York Magazine, TV executives were convinced it would be a flop. They thought the pace was too slow, weren't sold on the untrained child actors who provided the voices, and didn't like the jazz music or the characters' use of sophisticated vocabulary. But the classic tale made it to air anyway, and on December 9th, 1965 at 7:30 p.m., half of all American viewers tuned in, and the reviews afterwards were great. Washington Post TV critic Lawrence Laurent wrote, "Good old Charlie Brown, a natural-born loser, finally turned up a winner." The show became an instant classic and has been shown every year since. Before we go, we want to once again thank our episode sponsors, the Pyle family of Portola Valley, California. Shout out Brandon for his 9th birthday and say hello to all his classmates and his teacher, Mrs. Hamilton at Ormondale. Have a great day, Brandon. We also want to give a shout out to some of our other terrific teachers, Mr. Hazelberg and Mrs. Zarnot and their Cardinals at Mayville Elementary in Mayville, Wisconsin. Mrs. Neiman and her Pirates at Emerson Hubbard Elementary in Emerson, Nebraska. Mr. Heath and his Purple and Gold Bucks at Belvedere School in Belvedere, Illinois. And Mrs. Wagner and her Mustangs at New Bloomfield Elementary in New Bloomfield, Pennsylvania. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out our Week in Review quiz on our website. And for those who've signed up, our word search is in your emails. Have a great weekend, and we hope you tune in for more KidNuz Monday morning.